Audio frequency oscillator. So before we go for audio frequency oscillator topic, let us see what a signal generator is. A signal generator is an electronic test instrument that delivers an accurately calibrated signal at frequencies from audio frequency to microwave ranges. So the signal generator provides a signal that can be adjusted according to frequency, the output voltage, the impedance waveform, and the modulation. So signal generator is used as a stimulus for the item being tested. So signal generator is a device that can produce various patterns of voltage at a variety of frequencies and amplitudes. A common use is to test the response of circuits to a known input signal. That is, if you want to test any circuit, you can give the signal generated by a signal generator and check the output of that particular circuit. Most function generators allow us to generate sine wave, square wave, or triangular wave. These are all AC function signals. A signal generator can generate simple waveforms, usually just like sine wave. Some may generate square wave, triangular wave, etc. So a function generator has capability to generate all these waveforms, but also custom shapes, which in some cases can be created and loaded into generator using software. There are different types of signal generators, different purposes and applications, and at varying levels of expense. These types include function generator, RF signal generator, microwave signal generator, the digital pattern generators, and frequency generators. The most basic signal created from a signal generator is a continuous wave signal or a sine wave signal which has no modulation and is produced by a basic signal source. Varying the sine wave's amplitude, we know we obtain amplitude modulated signal, pulse modulated signal. Varying the sine wave's frequency or phase, we can generate the frequency modulated signal and the phase modulated signal. A function generator is made of many oscillators and they both do the same thing, that is to give an output periodic signal. The difference is that a single function generator can produce many different waveforms while an oscillator can produce only one waveform. So we have the audio frequency oscillators, we have the function generators, we have the RF signal generators. These are all the various signal generators. So audio frequency oscillator, as the name implies, this type of signal generator is used for audio applications to generate audio frequency signals typically from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, often used as sine wave generators. They are often used in audio measurements of frequency response and for distortion measurements. As a result, they must have a very flat response and also very low levels of harmonic distortion. So a function generator is a type of signal generator which is used to generate simple repetitive waveforms. Typically, this signal generator type will produce waveforms or functions such as the sine waves, the sawtooth waves, square and triangular waveforms. Early, the function generators tended to rely on analog oscillator circuits that produce the waveforms directly. The modern function generators may use digital signal processing techniques to generate the waveforms digitally and then convert them from digital to analog format. The RF signal generators, as the name indicates, this type of signal generator is used to generate the radio frequency signals. So these radio frequency signal generators, they generate a high frequency sinusoidal waveforms. They generate the amplitude modulated signal and the frequency modulated signal. The modulating signal may be internally generated or the modulating signal may be taken externally. Similarly, to generate a frequency modulated signal, we can take the modulating signal internally or we can take externally. So RF signal generator also has various applications for testing and aligning the radio receivers, the TV receivers and various applications. So this is the basic, the introduction for what a signal generator is. So a signal generator is a vital component in a test setup and in electronic troubleshooting and development. So whether on a service bench or in a research laboratory. So signal generators have variety of applications such as checking the stage gain, the frequency response and alignment in receivers and in a wide range of the electronic equipment. They provide a variety of waveforms for testing electronic circuits, usually at low powers. The term oscillator is used to describe an instrument that provides only a sinusoidal output signal, and the term generator to describe an instrument that provides several output waveforms, including sine wave, square wave, triangular wave, pulse trains, as well as amplitude modulated waveform and frequency modulated waveforms. Hence, when we say that the oscillator generates a signal, it is important to note that no energy is created. It is simply converted from DC source to AC at some specific frequency. There are various types of signal generators, but several requirements are common to all the types. The frequency of the signal should be known and stable. The amplitude should be controllable from very small to relatively large values. Finally, the signal should be distortion free. So all these requirements vary for special generators such as function generators, pulse and sweep generators. These AF and RF generators are designed to provide extensive and continuous coverage over as wide a range of frequencies as is practical. In RF signal generators, additional provision is generally made to modulate the continuous wave signal to provide a modulated RF signal. Most of the service type audio frequency generators commonly cover from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and the frequency band limits are for audio frequency range it is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. For radio frequency range it is about 30 kHz. Very low frequency it is nothing but 15 to 100 kHz. Low frequency is from 100 to 500 kHz. The broadcast band is from 0.5 to 1.5 MHz. For video, we use the signals from DC to 5 MHz. For high frequencies, we use 1.5 to 30 MHz. For very high frequencies, 30 to 300 MHz. And for microwaves, it is beyond 3 GHz. These are the various frequency bands we have, and the oscillators are designed depending upon the requirement for which frequency you are going to use. So depending upon the type, the frequency range we require, depending upon which type of waveforms we require, so we have to design or select an oscillator. So here we'll see the block diagram of a sine wave or a square wave audio frequency oscillator. It's working. The oscillator circuits used in AFO, sine to square wave converter circuits used in AFO, the attenuator used in AFO. So these are the different things we'll be seeing in the circuits of audio frequency oscillator. It generates a sine wave as well as square wave depending upon the switch position. It will generate either the sine wave or the square waves. Next, how it converts sine wave to square waves. Next, what is the attenuator used in AFO to get different amplitudes of the waveform. So this is a basic block diagram of a sine or a square wave audio frequency oscillator. It consists of an oscillator. Always the oscillators which you use must be stable. Its frequency should not change with aging, or its frequency should not change with the temperature, etc. It should be stable. Next, a sine wave to square wave converter and an attenuator to get the required amplitude, then we get the output. This is the basic block diagram of a audio frequency oscillator. When you see the working of the basic audio frequency oscillator, it consists of an oscillator generating a sinusoidal output waveform, usually the RC type oscillators. Next, a sine to square wave converter. We know that a Schmitt trigger circuit is one which converts the sine wave to square wave. Next is the attenuator, which provides a variable amplitude of the output signal. The function switch selects sine wave or square wave signal to give sine or square wave output. So we have the sine to square wave converter, the attenuator, the function switch. These are the front panel controls of an audio frequency oscillator. So to select which type of waveform we need, either sine wave or square wave, the frequency which we need, the band or the range of the frequency which we can select, that is usually from 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz. Next is the attenuation, that is how much amplitude we require. So oscillator circuits used as audio oscillators, we know they are RC oscillators. So RC oscillators and the beat frequency oscillators. So RC phase shift oscillator and the Wien bridge oscillators are one which generate the frequency in the audio frequency range. These are commonly used as they provide good frequency stability and distortion free waveforms in the audio range. So this is the block diagram of an audio frequency oscillator. We have a Wien bridge oscillator, which is an RC oscillator which generates the sine wave signals. So when you change the amplitude control, you see the potentiometer varies to get the required amplitude. Next is the sine wave amplifier to amplify the sine wave signals. Next is the attenuator to get the required output. We use the attenuator. For example, if you want to test amplifiers, we need very small signals, so we need the attenuators. Next is the function switch, which converts the sine wave to square wave. The function switch to select either the sine wave or the square wave. So if you select a square wave, if I need a square wave, I put the function switch in square wave position. Then a square wave shaper is there, for example a Schmitt trigger circuit which converts the sine wave to square wave. After the square wave is generated, amplifier is used to amplify the signal. Then, as usual, an attenuator to attenuate the signal depending upon the requirement. We get the output. So this is the block diagram of a basic audio frequency oscillator. So here it is designed to provide the sine or square wave output over a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Usually this audio frequency oscillator is used to test the amplifiers in the laboratory to obtain the frequency response of audio frequency amplifiers. Next, a Wien bridge oscillator is best suited in audio frequency oscillator, which provides a continuous frequency variation by changing of tuning capacitor in the oscillator circuit. So the output of oscillator is controlled by a function switch. The function switch directs oscillator output either sine wave amplifier or the square wave shaper. If I need a sine wave, I'll put it in the sine wave position. If I need a square wave, I put it in the square wave position. The linear wave shaping circuit or Schmitt trigger circuit, as I told, it converts sine wave to square waves. Sine and square wave amplifiers provide the amplification. They also provide buffering between the oscillator and load at the output so that there will not be any loading effect. So they also provide the buffering between the oscillator and the load at the output. So sine wave or square wave output is obtained through step attenuator. You can change the attenuator to different levels depending upon the requirement. So the variable amplitude is obtained by attenuator and a magnitude control or amplitude control to obtain the variable amplitude of the signal. Entire instrument is placed in a shielded cabinet. So the Wien bridge oscillator, it is the common oscillator used in all commercial audio oscillators because they provide good regulation, they provide stability, they provide accuracy, and also they are reliable. So regulation is important, stability, accuracy, and the reliable output is important. That's why we use a Wien bridge oscillator in the audio frequency generator. So they also provide the distortion free waveform. Distortion is nothing but a pure sine wave. If any parameter is varied, then we call it is a distorted waveform. So this is the circuit of the Wien bridge oscillator using the two transistors. A Wien bridge is used here and the output frequency is nothing but 1 by 2 pi RC if R1 equals to R2 equals to R and C1 equals to C2 equals to C, then the frequency of oscillation of the Wien bridge oscillator is nothing but 1 by 2 pi RC. So this is a circuit which we'll be using in the AFO to get the sine wave. When you speak about the working of a Wien bridge oscillator, it is a standard oscillator for generating audio frequencies up to 20 kilohertz. So the frequency of oscillation is changed by capacitors ganged and connected to frequency dial on front panel. Frequency range is changed by R1 and R2. So it provides an output impedance of 600 ohms. So AFO is one which has an output impedance of 600 ohms. Next is how to convert a sine wave to square wave. This is a linear wave shaping circuit which converts a sine wave to square wave. You can observe the output waveform. You have the LTP and UTP. When those points are reached and the input, the output will change its state from 0 to high or high to 0. So hence a sine wave is converted to square wave, this is nothing but a like a Smith trigger circuit. It is a linear wave shaping circuit. So it converts sine wave to square wave without change in frequency, which is important. So operational amplifiers functions as non-inverting amplifier. It provides high gain. Positive and negative clipping is provided at certain voltage levels by diodes D1, D2, Zener diodes GT, D4, and the associated resistors. So amplitude of square wave output is V naught equals to plus or minus Vz plus Vt. So this is a Smith trigger circuit using two transistors to convert sine wave to square wave. So this is how it converts the sine wave to the square wave. So multivibrator converts any input signal into square wave without changing the signal frequency. So here in the circuit, when the input is 0 voltage, transistor T1 is on and T2 is off. At UTP, upper triggering potential voltage, T1 starts conducting. So input voltage required to start conduction of T1 is known as the upper triggering point. UTP and LTP, as already I told you. So UTP equals to VE2 plus VBE, where VE2 is voltage drop across RE, emitter resistor, and T2 conducts at saturation. So VE2 voltage drop across RE and VBE forward bias voltage required by transistor to conduct. So Smith trigger circuit, we have one more point LTP. When T1 is off, T2 starts conducting at saturation. So LTP, as I told you, is input voltage required for T2 to conduct. We have 2 points UTP and LTP at the points where the output changes from high to low or low to high. Therefore, Smith trigger distinguishes two finite values UTP and LTP of input voltage that results in conversion of sine wave to square wave. So, as we have seen in the block diagram, we are using the amplifiers. One to amplify the sine wave signal, other one to amplify the square wave signal. So push-pull amplifiers are used as output amplifier in audio frequency oscillator. So they amplify the signal and also provide isolation between the oscillator and load connected to the audio frequency oscillator output. So they eliminate all the frequency effects, that is distortion between the input and output circuits caused due to loading. So we know the push-pull amplifiers, they eliminate the distortion effects. The range switch effects also are eliminated. So this is the push-pull amplifier circuit used as output amplifier. Attenuator circuit used in AFO. So we have the range switch for obtaining different ranges. So to obtain different ranges, we are connecting different resistors in series as shown in this figure. So this is the attenuator section used in the audio frequency oscillator. Generally, resistance type of attenuators are used in audio frequency oscillator. Oh, so attenuators are capable of adjusting output voltages from 1 microvolt to several volts. They should have capability of providing continuously variable output between attenuator steps and the input of the attenuator given from reference voltage of output amplifier. So we have seen what basically a signal generator is and what an audio frequency oscillator is. If you see, front panel controls of an audio frequency oscillator. Of course, we have a function switch to select a sine wave or a square wave, the power on off switch. Next is a switch, a control to vary the amplitude and a control to vary the frequency. Various controls are available on the front panel of audio frequency oscillator for effective operation of the equipment. So the front panel controls available must be easy to handle and are able to control all the parameters provided by the equipment. So this is an old type of audio frequency oscillator. Here we have a knob to change the frequency, a frequency multiplier. Next, a variable amplitude multiplier. Next, we have the amplitude symmetry. You have the function switch to select a sine wave or a square wave. We have a ground, sink and output connectors and the power on off switch. Here, frequency multiplier is nothing but depending upon the position on which you put the switch, you have to multiply the reading on the calibrated or the dial shown on this figure with the frequency multiplier. Supposing the knob on this meter of frequency is showing 2, and if your frequency multiplier is on 100, it means 2 into 100, 200 hertz. If the frequency multiplier is in 1k position, then 2 into 1k, the frequency is 2 kilohertz. So the amplitude is there into 0.01 into 0.1 into 1. That is, if we need very small signal to test the amplifiers, then we can put this variable amplitude multiplier in different positions to get millivolts output also. So this is the purpose of these controls of the audio frequency oscillator. So as I told you, frequency selector selects the frequency and varies continuously. The multiplier, which selects the frequency range in 5 decades from 10 Hz to 1 MHz. So usually we don't have up to 1 MHz. Amplitude multiplier, 3 decades into 1, into 0.1 and into 0.01. These are the different multipliers to get the variable, a varying amplitude of the signals. So attenuator, variable amplitude is nothing but depending upon the switch position, it attenuates the signal and gives the output. So function switch, variable amplitude switch, the amplitude symmetry, it varies symmetry of square wave amplitude from 30% to 70%. The on-off power switch, the power indicator which glows when FO is on, some LED like, the output which provides the sine wave and the square wave output, of course the ground reference for output and sink input. So to accept external sink signal, we have one more front panel control as sink. So this is another type of audio frequency oscillator. You see in the center of this equipment, you can see the frequency dial. When you vary that dial, vary the knob, the frequency changes. You have the power on off switch, our provision to take the output. Next is the function switch, that is to select the sine or square wave, the multiplier for obtaining different frequency, the knob position into the multiplier gives the frequency. Next is the amplitude to obtain the different amplitudes of the signal. So this is the digital audio oscillator. You have the digital display and the buttons type to get the various signals, sine and square wave signals with different amplitudes and the attenuation. So when you speak about these specifications of audio frequency oscillator, we have to mention what is the frequency range we require, what is the amplitude range we require, and What else? What are the output impedance we require? All these we have to specify while we design a audio frequency oscillator. So different specifications are specified by the manufacturer, which deals with ratings of different parameters related to the safety of operation. So they are useful to the operator to operate the equipment within the specified range so that the equipment is not spoiled. They provide safety measures to the equipment. So these are the specifications of AFO. The frequency, we can go from 10 Hz to 1 megahertz. The output voltage, sine wave can go from 5 millivolts to 5 volts. Square wave can go from 15 millivolts to 15 volts. The two waveforms, the sine and square, therefore generates only two types, sine and square, not other waveforms. Output impedance, how much we require, 600 ohms. Accuracy, 3%. Distortion less than 1% at 1 kilohertz. The duty cycle, that is for your square wave, 48% to 52%. The power supply, 230 to 50 hertz. So these are the various specifications of the audio frequency oscillator. So to brief again, the audio frequency oscillator, it is the heart of the generator, is a Wien bridge oscillator. The signal generator is called an oscillator. A Wien bridge oscillator is used in this oscillator because this gives maximum suitable for audio frequency range. The frequency of oscillations can be changed varying the capacitance in the Wien bridge oscillator. The frequency can be changed by switching in resistors of different values in the Wien bridge oscillator. The output of the Wien bridge oscillator goes to the function switch. The function switch directs the oscillator output either to the sine wave or the square wave shipper. At the output, we get either a square or a sine wave shipper. At the output, we get a sine wave, the switch function switch is in sine wave position. We get a square wave if the position of the switch is in square wave. The signal is amplified and given to the output terminal through attenuator. The amplitude can be set to any desired value by means of attenuator and the magnitude control. When the function switch is in square wave position, the oscillator output is given to a shaping circuit that converts the sinusoidal signal into the square wave signal. The square wave signal is amplified and through an attenuator it is given to the output terminals. The attenuator is used to vary the amplitude of the square wave output. So the instrument generates a frequency ranging from 10 Hz to 1 megahertz with a continuously variable 5 decades with overlapping ranges from 5 millivolts to 5 volts. The output is taken through a push-pull amplifier. For low output impedance, the impedance is 600 ohms. The square wave amplitudes can be varied from 0 to 20 volts peak. The instrument requires only 7 watts of power at 230 volts, 50 hertz frequency. So as we have seen, the specifications of AFR, the output waveform, which type we need, the frequency range, the amplitude, the output impedance, the square wave duty cycle, the square wave rise time, and the power supply. These are few specifications. And if you speak about the front panel controls, already we have seen the function switch. It selects either the sine wave or square wave. The frequency multiplier selects a frequency range over 5 decades from 10 Hz to 1 megahertz. The amplitude multiplier, it attenuates the sine wave in 3 decades into 1, into zero point 0.1 and into 0.01. The variable amplitude, it attenuates the sine wave amplitude continuously. The symmetry control, it varies the symmetry of the square wave from 30% to 70%. The amplitude control, it adjusts the amplitude of the waveform. The frequency selector, it selects the frequency in different ranges and it varies continuously in the ratio of 1:11. The output available, this provides sine wave or square wave output. The sync terminal, this terminal is used to provide synchronization of the internal signal with an external signal. And last and final, it is on off switch. is used to switch on and off the power. So these are the front panel controls of an AFO. Thank you.